Welcome back, Ranker. Do you remember last week I brought you the story about how Google was going to start penalising sites now that overdo their search engine optimization? Well, it's begun. Sites are being de-indexed. There is wholesale ranking slaughter across the SERPs, and a lot of people are upset. Apparently, this letter here, Google, which is in Google Webmaster Tools, so if you don't use Google Webmaster Tools, go and have a look at your Google Webmaster Tools. I'll just read it quickly for you. We've detected, this is from Google, to site owners. We've detected that some of your site's pages may be using techniques that are outside Google's Webmaster Guidelines. Specifically, look for possibly artificial or unnatural links pointing to your site that could be intended to manipulate page rank. Examples of unnatural linking could include buying links to pass page rank or participating in link schemes. That's just the first half of the email. Now, I've had to grab this from SEO Moz because, of course, in our Webmaster Tools account, we don't have any of these because we don't do this sort of stuff. So we never see emails like this. This is a sort of SEO we kind of laugh at because we know at some point Google's going to start sending emails like this out and start clobbering people. Matt Cutts said it at South by Southwest. We're going to start penalising sites that over-optimise. This is the site I brought you last week. It's called LondonSerenity.com. It's all about massage. And then it's got this page about investing. And then on this page are all these backlinks to financial related sites. Now, we've tracked this, who does the SEO for this site. We've tracked it down. And we actually got a cold call from the company who was trying to sell us their servers, and they told us how they did it. And that's how I brought you that information last week's show. I wanted to show you something, though, why we don't do buying backlinks like this. If you do your job right from the start, you don't need this nonsense. And Google's trying to stamp it out. And, you know, so right now, we're getting lots of people screaming on the net who practice this sort of backlinking schemes. But let's not forget what I've been saying for the last 8 months. Google authorship. Google launched it for a reason, and it's more than just content attribution. It's about saying that if you've got great authorship, meaning that you're getting published in great places, on reputable pages, reputable sites, and other authors, reputable authors, who are sharing your content. How do we decide a reputable author? How they play in the social space. If you've got good authorship, your content is going to rank. Authorship is the new page rank. I don't know why these clowns think that they can keep buying backlinks and think that somehow Google isn't going to work it out. They're a monolith. Of course they're going to work it out. So all you can do really is do what Google says. Provide great content that people want to read and share or watch. So let's just take a look at one of these links, shall we? I don't know, the first one. It says credit card. So presumably this site that has been linked to is trying to rank for the word credit card. Now, we know that the links on this site have been sold. We've been approached by the company that sells these links on these sites like this to do backlinking for us. We said no because, let's face it, the idea of a backlink that Google first tried to differentiate itself from the other search engines with is the idea that it's a citation. It's a vote for your site or your page. So to go and buy backlinks is clearly against Google's terms of service because it's scamming the whole thing. So that's why we don't do it. Anyway, this site, credit card, links to a little site called everydaymoney.com.au, which happens to be a brand that some of you may be familiar with called Woolworths. I don't go to the shops much, but I believe it's quite big. Now, there's not much text on the front of this site. Most of it's graphics, except, ironically, the stuff that should be in a graphic isn't, which is all this disclaimer stuff down the bottom. The reason that should be in a graphic is because it doesn't help the ranking one iota. So stick it in a graphic so Google can't read it. At the moment, that's pretty much all that they can read on that front page. But if you go and have a look at the source, you can see here in the page title, which is one of the first tags, or the first tag that Google will look at anyway, is the phrase credit card. Okay, so we've got it in the backlink, and we've got it as the first page of the title. So someone's had a red hot go in trying to get this web page ranked for the phrase credit card. But guess what? It ain't working, and it's terrible. And if anybody had looked at the Google Webmaster Tools, which I seriously doubt, they would know by now that there's a letter in there from Google telling them that this sort of backlinking strategy that they're doing is dodgy and they better stop it or they will get de-indexed. The reason I don't think anybody's had a look at the Google Webmaster Tools is that they would see a lot of other things that are wrong with this site. Like the fact that if you grab a piece of text off its front page, like I have here, you will find that that site does not actually rank for the text on the front page of the site. So the other problems that it has is that if I do a site, everydaymoney.com.au, and you can do this on your own site, it will tell you everything that Google knows about your site. Every page that Google has crawled on your site, it will tell you if you put that into google.com.au or google.com. Guess what? This site has 975 pages. Unfortunately for Woolworths, most of them are pages, or I should say images, that it doesn't want Google to see, and they haven't been blocked by the robots.txt file, which should happen. So if we go to this one, this is heaps and heaps and heaps of these images, and they're all about Woolworths employee special offer for the aforementioned credit card up here. And, you know, there's hundreds of these things. So the majority of the site is basically noise to Google, but at the same time, they're buying backlinks to get ranked. All they had to do was produce a good site and a good story for Google and manage it in Webmaster Tools, and you wouldn't need to do these spammy techniques. Sure, credit card is a really competitive phrase, but guess what? If you do what Google wants, which is produce great content, you will turn up in the rankings for that phrase, providing you do it in a way that engages, gets people linking to you, become a resource. But that's not what agencies are about. That's not what... And look, I'm not... Well, I kind of am kicking Woolworths a little bit here, but I'm really kicking the agency because there is no, dare I say, engagement here with the web user, and yet they want to get ranked in Google. That's not what Google's about anymore. That's why they invented authorship 8 months ago. They invented authorship so that they could tell a good author from junk, okay? This is why all this backlinking stuff is disappearing, because they're coming out with authorship now. Backlinking is easily gained. The better your authorship, meaning the better the content that you're associated with that authorship, and the more authors of good reputation that link to your content, and then the better your authorship's going to be. And that means that your content is going to rank higher. And that's what it's all about. Google's trying to reward excellent content for its users. So its users keep using the service so they can keep advertising to them and they get more clicks on the ads because it's a good service and they make more money. Pretty simple equation. Hopefully that's helpful. We'll see you next week. Thanks very much. It's going to be great for our customers. I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks because there's a lot of sites that are going to disappear.